Have you ever felt that tiny phantom vibration in your thigh? You're sitting at dinner, you feel it, that distinct buzz against your leg. You reach down, pull out your phone, and nothing. No notification, no missed call, just a blank screen staring back at you like a black mirror.
Ah, I know that feeling all too well, Sarah. It's actually got a name, doesn't it? Phantom vibration syndrome.
Exactly. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi horror film, doesn't it? But it's our reality. We are so on edge, so biologically wired to anticipate the next hit of dopamine from our screens, that our brains are literally hallucinating notifications.
It's wild when you think about it. I remember reading a study recently. The average person touches their phone over 2,600 times a day. 2,600 times. If you did that to a human being, it'd be considered harassment.
Right. If I poked you 2,600 times during this podcast, you'd probably walk out of the studio. But we let our devices do it, and the cost isn't just time, it's our mental clarity. It's that heavy, cloud-like feeling we call brain fog. It's like trying to think through a thick London mist. You know the information is there, but you just can't quite reach it.
That's the perfect analogy. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. How we lost our focus, and more importantly, how we can get it back.
Hello, and a massive welcome to everyone tuning in to English Way Up. I'm Sarah, and I am absolutely thrilled you've decided to spend some of your day with us. Whether you're listening while commuting through the bustling streets of Tokyo, sipping a café au lait in a rainy Paris, or maybe you're winding down after a long day in Sao Paulo, we see you, and we're so glad you're here.
Cheers, everyone. It's brilliant to be back. I'm Mike, and as someone who used to be, let's be honest, completely tethered to my smartphone, I'm quite excited to get stuck into this topic.
Tethered. That's a great word for our learners today. Like a boat tied to a dock, right? You couldn't float away even if you wanted to.
Exactly. I was a slave to the ping. But today, we're talking about digital minimalism. It's not about throwing your iPhone into the Thames and moving to a cave. It's about being intentional. It's about reclaiming your mental real estate.
I love that. Mental real estate. Our attention is the most valuable thing we own, yet we give it away for free to apps designed to keep us scrolling. So grab a cup of tea, find a comfortable spot, and let's talk about why your phone might be making you feel like you're living in a fog and how we can find the sun again. Mike, let's start with the why. Why is it so hard to just put the phone down? I mean, I consider myself a disciplined person, but sometimes I find myself mindlessly scrolling through Instagram at 11 p.m. when I should be sleeping. Why does that happen?
Well, Sarah, it's not a fair fight. You're up against thousands of the world's smartest engineers whose entire job is to keep you looking at that screen. They use something called intermittent rewards. It's the same logic behind slot machines in Las Vegas.
A slot machine? That feels a bit extreme, doesn't it?
Not at all. Think about the pull to refresh gesture. You pull down on your feed, there's a tiny pause, a moment of anticipation, and then bam! New content appears. Maybe it's a funny video, maybe it's a like on your photo, or maybe it's nothing interesting at all. Because you don't know when the reward is coming, your brain stays hooked.
That's so true. It's that maybe that keeps us going. It's like we're fishing for a bit of excitement.
Precisely. And every time you get a hit, a notification, a comment, your brain releases dopamine. Now, people think dopamine is about pleasure, but it's actually about anticipation. It's the seeking chemical. It drives you to keep looking.
And that's where the brain fog starts, right? Because our brains aren't designed to handle that much seeking all day long.
Spot on. We're overstimulating our prefrontal cortex. That's the part of the brain responsible for deep thinking, decision-making, and focus. When you're constantly jumping from a WhatsApp message to an email, then to a TikTok video, then back to a news alert, your brain is doing what we call context switching.
Oh, context switching. I've heard that term. It's the idea that every time we switch tasks, there's a cost, right?
Exactly. There's a residue. Your brain doesn't instantly switch from a work email to a conversation with your spouse. A part of your mind is still stuck on that email. If you do that 50 times an hour, your brain becomes a chaotic mess. It's no wonder we feel fried by 3 p.m.
Fried. Another great idiom. It means exhausted, like your brain has literally been cooked. I feel fried most Tuesdays, Mike.
We all do. But the problem is, we've forgotten how to be bored. Boredom used to be the space where creativity happened. Now, the second we feel a microsecond of boredom, standing in a lift, waiting for a kettle to boil, we reach for the phone. We've weeded out all the quiet moments in our lives.
Let's talk about the stakes. Why does this matter so much? Aside from feeling a bit tired, what are we actually losing?
We're losing our ability to do deep work. That's a term coined by Cal Newport, the godfather of digital minimalism. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's how you learn a language, how you write a book, or how you solve a complex problem at work.
So, for our English learners, if they're trying to study grammar but they're checking their phone every 5 minutes, they aren't actually learning.
Sadly, no. They're just skimming. To move information from your short-term memory to your long-term memory, you need sustained attention. If you break that attention, the download to your brain gets interrupted.
That's a scary thought. It's like trying to fill a bucket with water, but the bucket has 100 tiny holes in it.
That's a perfect image. And it's not just about learning, it's about our relationships. Have you ever been phubbed, Sarah?
Phubbed? Is that a mix of phone and snubbed?
You got it. It's when someone ignores you in a social setting to look at their phone. We've all done it, and we've all had it done to us. It sends a subconscious message. The person on this screen is more important than the human being sitting right in front of me.
Ouch, that hits home. It's so easy to do, isn't it? You think, oh, I'll just check this one thing, but in that moment you've checked out of the real-world conversation.
And that leads to a sense of isolation. We're more connected than ever through social media, yet the rates of loneliness are skyrocketing. We're trading deep, nourishing social interaction for digital snacks. A like is a snack. A long, phone-free walk with a friend is a meal.
Digital snacks. I'm definitely stealing that phrase. It really highlights the lack of substance. You can eat a whole bag of crisps and still feel hungry, just like you can scroll for an hour and feel even more empty than when you started.
Exactly. And the brain fog is the physical manifestation of that emptiness. It's your brain saying, I'm overwhelmed, I'm undernourished, and I need a break.
I want to touch on something a lot of people pride themselves on: multitasking. I used to think I was the queen of multitasking. I could listen to a podcast, cook dinner, and reply to a text all at once. But you're telling me that's a lie.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Sarah, but humans cannot multitask. Not really. What we are actually doing is task switching. We're flicking our attention back and forth very rapidly.
But it feels productive.
It's a productivity illusion. Research shows that multitasking can actually drop your effective IQ by 10 points. That's more than the impact of losing a full night's sleep.
10 points. That's massive. So by trying to do everything at once, I'm actually making myself, well, less intelligent in the moment.
Essentially, yes. You're performing each task at a lower quality. Think about it. If you're writing an important email while a YouTube video is playing in the background, your word choice won't be as sharp. You're more likely to make typos, and your brain is burning through glucose, its primary fuel, much faster.
This explains why I feel so drained after a day of multitasking at the office. I haven't done anything physically hard, but I'm exhausted.
Your brain has been running a marathon in circles. That's the fog. To clear it, we have to embrace monotasking, doing one thing at a time and doing it with your full presence.
I tried this the other day. I went for a walk in the woods near my house, and I purposely left my phone in the car. At first, I felt incredibly anxious. I kept reaching for my pocket. I felt like I was missing something important.
That's the withdrawal. It's literal addiction. But tell me, what happened after 10 or 15 minutes?
It was amazing. I started noticing things. The way the light hit the moss on the trees, the specific sound of the birds. My thoughts started to untangle. It was like a knot in my head was slowly being loosened.
That is digital minimalism in action. You gave your brain permission to stop seeking and start observing. You moved from the red zone of high alert stress into the green zone of recovery.
Okay, Mike, you've convinced me. We're all a bit fried, we're phubbing our friends, and our brains are leaky buckets. How do we fix it? What's the digital way up?
Well, the most effective method, though it sounds a bit daunting, is the 30-day Digital Declutter.
30 days? That sounds like a lifetime in the digital age.
It's a reset. Here's how it works. For 30 days, you take a break from all optional digital technologies. That means social media, news sites, games, maybe even Netflix if you're feeling brave.
Optional is the key word there, right? I can still use my work email or GPS to find my way to a meeting.
Of course, we're not Luddites. We use technology for its utility, but we cut out the distraction machines. During those 30 days, you'll feel that itch to scroll, but instead of scratching it, you have to find something else to do.
Like what?
Reconnect with high-quality leisure. Read a physical book. Learn to cook a complex meal. Pick up a guitar. Go for those phone-free walks. The goal is to rediscover what you actually enjoy doing when you're not being told what to watch by an algorithm.
I suppose it's like a digital diet. You clear out the junk food to remember what real food tastes like.
Exactly. And after the 30 days, you don't just dump everything back onto your phone. You reintroduce apps one by one, but only if they add massive value to your life.
I did something similar last year. I realized I had 3 different news apps that all sent me the same breaking news alerts. It was just constant stress. I deleted 2 of them and turned off notifications for the 3rd. The world didn't end, and I felt so much calmer.
That's a golden nugget right there. Turn off your notifications. Unless it's a phone call from a human being, it probably doesn't need your immediate attention. Your phone should be a tool that you pick up when you want to use it, not a master that screams at you to look at it.
As we start to wrap up this deep dive, I want to talk about the philosophy of enough. We live in a world that tells us more is always better. more information, more followers, more likes. But digital minimalism says the opposite, doesn't it?
It does. It's the belief that less can be more. If you have 5,000 friends on Facebook, but you haven't had a real conversation with any of them in a year, do you really have 5,000 friends?
Right, it's quality over quantity.
Precisely. Digital minimalism is about optimizing your life for your values. If you value your family, but you spend your evenings scrolling through Twitter while sitting next to them, your actions aren't matching your values.
That's a powerful way to look at it. It's not just about using your phone less, it's about living your life more.
Beautifully put. We only have a limited amount of time on this planet. Do we really want to spend a third of it looking at pictures of other people's lunches? Or do we want to be present for our own lives?
It's a wake-up call, Mike. Truly, I think we all need to take a step back and ask, is this technology serving me or am I serving it?
And if the answer is that you're the servant, it's time to flip the switch.
Mike, this has been an absolute eye-opener. I feel like the fog is already starting to lift just by talking about it.
I'm glad to hear it, Sarah. It's a journey, not a destination.
Now, for our English learners listening in, we've used a lot of great language today, but I want to focus on a very specific bit of grammar that Mike used throughout his advice, the imperative.
Ah, yes, the command form.
Exactly. When we give strong advice, we often use imperatives. We don't say, you should perhaps think about turning off your notifications. We say, turn off your notifications. Put your phone in another room. Embrace the boredom.
It's direct, it's clear, and it's effective.
So, here are your golden nuggets for today, delivered in the imperative. 1. Audit your apps. If you haven't used it in a month, delete it. 2. Disable all non-human notifications. 3. Designate phone-free zones in your home, like the dinner table or the bedroom. 4. Practice being bored. Next time you're in a queue, keep your phone in your pocket and just look around. 5. Schedule deep work blocks where your phone is turned off completely.
Great list. If you follow those, you'll be amazed at how quickly that brain fog clears up.
Mike, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure as always.
My pleasure, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
And to all of you listening, thank you for giving us your most precious resource, your attention. If you found this episode helpful, please hit that subscribe button for English Way Up. Leave us a review and share this episode with a friend who might be struggling with their own digital snacks.
See you in the next one.
Until next time, keep your head up, your phone down, and keep moving the English way up. Bye-bye.